We're back. Yeah, we find out dinner's just going to be a dude. Which, yeah, and I love that they like lower him down the dumbwaiter, basically.
Yeah. Doesn't that fuck up the meat?
What?
No, they kind of like jerk him down the fucking. They don't like gently lower him down. They kind of like almost hang him a little bit. I'm thinking that they
They're
can't
just
be good, right?
tenderizing. You know, they're just tenderizing on the way down. It's fine.
Oh, that's how you make sure he's evacuated.
Yeah.
Just like gravity do the trick.
Yeah, right.
Oh, jerk on the rope a little bit. Here we go.
Plus, I know, like, the way that you bleed the bodies of animals out, like maybe they're trying to maintain halal or something, because you have to, like, hang them upside down and bleed.
Well,
No,
you don't
probably
want
not.
to eat blood. Just sanitary reasons.
I mean, blood sausage is fucking amazing, but...
It's fucking gross.
What? Oh, yo,
No.
God.
Think of how many bloodborne illnesses there are, and you're just gonna eat that shit?
Yep.
Gross.
Strong as a fucking ox, too. So
I'm
the
with
chef...
Candice, but that's no surprise.
So the... Oh, have you ever had... God damn it, I just
No.
got it, too, from the German sausage company that I go
Oh, I
to.
can tell you definitely no.
Liverwurst.
Oh my
No.
god, I used to have fucking liverwurst all the time when I was a kid. I
Fucking
hate that
love
fucking
it.
shit.
Oh, it's
You
so
should
good.
never eat fucking meat that has paper wrapped around it that you have to peel off. No.
Oh, I get it
No,
from a
no,
butcher,
no.
and it's in a jar, Tim. There's no paper.
In a jar? Wait,
Yep.
no, wait. What the fuck? Like a
Oh
paste?
god.
Yep.
Oh god.
No.
Tim, I'll send you photos of it later. And speaking of eating liver, the chief just, like, rips the liver out of this fucking dude and then offers it up to the professor. Like, look, dog, you better take a bite out of this.
Oof.
Why
This
is
is my
it
worst
whenever they show
nightmare.
cannibals in movies or TV, they never cook their food first?
I thank
feel
you,
like
Candace.
if
I have
I-
that written down. You're supposed to cook
if-
that shit, right?
If I was a cannibal, I would at least prepare it. You
I mean,
know,
they have
add
fire.
some seasoning.
Yes,
Yeah.
they have fire. They have cocaine at some point in the country, right? So
Exactly,
they know about seasoning.
Yeah. I mean, you do see them cook, like, bits and pieces at the end when we see what happened to the
true.
ill-fated four.
Oh, wait, so is this like the sushi bar they went to?
Yeah, this is like the delicacy of it is the innards.
Or
And
let's
you-
get the stupid foreigner to eat crazy shit because he thinks he's supposed to.
Very well could be. Because
Yeah.
people think just because they don't live in a Western culture that they're stupid. Because they choose not to live in cities, they must be idiots. It's like, no, they're just as smart as you are, capable of thinking just the way you are.
Listen,
They're
anybody that
just-
chooses not to pay taxes is a genius.
That's
That's
true.
true.
If you can get away with
I
it.
can't argue with
Right.
that.
Right. I mean,
Why do I think Eddie just dropped out?
Check. Okay, sorry. Something came
Oh,
unplugged.
it's back.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
You got too excited.
I did.
You were waving
I did.
your arms around and you unplugged your
I was
mic.
screaming. I was like, no. I was saying, Candice, when you were talking about, like, the people that choose not to live in the city and that they're not stupid, I was like, is that, like, autobiographical here? What's going on?
That's
No,
what
I'm
she tells
smarter
herself.
because I got $500,000 worth of house for a much smaller price.
Oh, God, don't even talk to me about that shit.
This is true.
Yeah,
But what's the
exactly.
thing about they say about with real estate? What's the top 3 things you need with real estate? Location.
Location.
Mm-hmm.
I work remotely, bitch.
And you can just make it up by claiming it's haunted. So, also, Asherz, when you said not paying taxes, you have no idea how much respect I gained for you.
oh, you had none before, I guess, is what you're saying.
No, I had plenty. Don't
Went up to
worry
2.
about that. But now we
Yeah.
went up to like a 9. I'm about at a 3 with Tim and
Well,
Candice
since I've been
so
listening to
far.
fucking Chris Chan fucking videos, at least it's at a 10 on the respect level. Motherfucker,
Oh, yeah.
Eddie, you motherfucker, you sent me down that fucking rabbit hole.
By the way, we are going to be doing a Hunting for Strange episode, which is what we're now calling the Candice Files, where we cover the saga of Chris Chan.
Oh, my.
Yay.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about it. I know nothing about
Oh,
it.
my.
So
I won't. I'm not. Yeah, I know it's way too much.
I've purposely been avoiding it so I can, give a good reaction.
The best thing that I came across so far, hold on, before I forget it. I'm watching these YouTube videos where it's doing like the history, part 1, part 2, part 3, and I think it's part 2 is when he's playing Animal Crossing.
Oh, yeah.
And all the fucking animal things run away from him and go into their house when he comes near them. And I'm like, now I need somebody to explain to me something. Were those other people, or was that the
No.
computer control?
That's the computer, Tim.
Yeah.
That's
So the
computer,
computer
yep.
controlled characters ran and hid in their houses when he...
Chris repulses even artificial intelligence.
The smartest one, I think.
I was going to say my knowledge of Chris Chan is up there with Asher's your knowledge of the Mothman.
Oh man, that's your lore.
Wow, holy shit.
That's his Mothman. Chris
That's
Chan,
your Mothman. Chris.
I'll
Chris
drop
Chan.
a little credibility point here. Chris, that's not their real name. That's not their
That's
birth
right.
name. Yep. Okay, so we'll get to that. though.
I know how he got his name. I'm sorry, I know how they got their name, yes.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So, yeah, Professor just takes a big fucking knock out of the liver. I'm like, you know what? Win in Rome, right?
Well, if he didn't, they might make him dinner. Because that would be incredibly insulting if they're doing him in honor, and he's like,
Just
no.
pretend, like rub some blood on your fucking lips a little bit, like, that's it.
Well, you never see him swallow it, so he might have like done the thing and then like, oh look, the thing in the tree.
Do you think they gave him napkins, Eddie?
No.
So this wins them over though, because it turns out they end up giving him the cans of film, which they also have hanging in a tree for some reason.
All right, I'm sorry. This is a major plot point for me. How the fuck did they keep those cans pristine? That's film,
They
right?
don't.
From what
No,
I
they
know,
say-
it's...
They say in the movie that some of them were too destroyed and they couldn't be restored.
Still, they should all be fucking destroyed. Humidity, it's hanging up in the
Yeah, I don't
fucking
know.
sun. It's one of those cans weren't fucking cracked open. But I know it's a movie. But would have been better if they were in like a dark cave. Then I could have like, all right, I can believe that a little bit more than just tied up on a tree.
Yep. And he gives a little exposition that I guess the natives were convinced that he could capture people's spirit with the tape recorder. And they were also convinced that there was a curse on them because of the killing of the white people. So maybe he could like lift the curse from them. And he's like, cool, I'll totally do that or whatever. Just give me those tapes. And I guess they kept the tapes because they thought that the tapes had power, and that's why the...
Wait, so they feel bad about killing those white people that we're getting ready to
I
see
think-
right now?
I think that they felt like there was a pall over their village left by the
Yes.
actions. Because like something really traumatic happened to them. And
Okay.
they're like, I feel really bad about this, and it might be because of all these bad spirits around here. And like, if you take this evidence, if you take these pieces that these white people treasured so much and get them out of here, it might lift the spirits of everyone around them.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. So we cut back to the professor, and he's hanging out with the film producer type people that really, really want him to do a live TV show about this with the documentary footage that Alan and crew filmed. And he's like, look, I haven't seen this shit, so I don't know about that. So then they take him off and...
I did like how the movie juxtaposes the Green Inferno, the Amazon jungle, with the concrete jungle of New York City. Like, they draw a lot of
Yeah.
parallels
Oh, yeah.
between
Mhm.
the people who live in the jungle and the people who live in the city.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll get to it, but at the end, like the music that is played over the kind of sweeping scenes of the city, they play the folk music that they were playing while they were doing the helicopter footage over the jungle as well to kind of
Yeah.
bookend it. It's really clever. So then I like that they're like, okay, well, I mean, this Alan dude kind of fucks around. Let's take a look at another thing that he made. And we get to see another one of his documentaries, The Last Road to Hell.
Okay, now, was this real?
No.
Some of that had to be real. Some of those execution things, I
Some-
think they snuck that shit in. That's just like, public footage. Has to be.
I think there was, because, yeah,
Oh,
some of
I think
that's
there
like...
was.
Okay.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
okay,
say it's
sorry.
just for budget
There's no way.
reasons.
Yeah, there's no way they could have like gone to a completely different area and filmed it just
Okay.
to put it in this one
So-
small part of the film.
So my mistake. In the context of the movie, it's not real. Because we
Yes.
find out that Alan paid actors to do this because it was a fake documentary. In the
Right.
context of what you're watching as a human being, yeah, this is just people getting shot.
Yeah. That's what we
Like,
meant.
sorry. Yeah. Correct. My apologies. So yeah, we just get to watch some fun atrocities and then be told that they were faked by Alan and crew. So now we go to the documentary that they filmed. And it's just clearly these 4 actors just complete assholes, right? The entire fucking time.
I have written down, this is like if Logan Paul did a documentary.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, that's the perfect example. Yeah.
Yeah, just like with the suicide forest in Japan. Exactly.
They're just awful. Yeah.
Yeah, because like the woman's walking around naked and they're filming her and she's like, God, you fucking assholes, don't do that. But they keep doing it anyway because they're just the worst. And then they keep like putting her underwear on her head. So that's fun. Then we cut to a montage of the professor talking to the people that knew them.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Tim, I have a note here. You probably
Go ahead. Yes,
like
I know.
myself.
They all sound like they're my relatives.
No, Tim. So we
I
talked.
have that note.
Okay.
Especially the sister. Oh my God.
Yeah, we talked to Alan's father first, and he's of course kind of sad. And then we talked to the nun about Faye, who's actually Tina.
Mm-hmm.
She
And
always
then-
wanted to be an actress.
Yeah. Then we get to
Wait, hold on. My thing is, what's up with those kids? Because at
One
one
of them's
point,
got a
the sister
mad unibrow.
stops.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
The sister stops at the interview and she's like, hold on. All right, children, I'm almost done talking to this lady and then we can play. And I'm like, typical fucking nun. Those kids could be playing while she's talking to the fucking camera, but she's got to keep her control over them, right?
Yeah,
Plus, some
Tim's,
guy's just fucking playing the flute behind them and they're not even looking at the guy playing the flute.
Tim's got some energy toward nuns, if you haven't heard of this yet, Asherz.
It depends on the nun, what kind of
That's-
energy.
That's fine. Well,
I
that's
got that Zelda Rubinstein. Oh my God, Zelda Rubinstein done
God
up as a
damn it,
nun.
Tim.
Oh,
Tim's also got some energy towards Zelda Rubinstein. But anyhow, then I love we get to Jack's wife. Who she's like, yeah, he was a son of a bitch. We were married 2 years. I saw him like 4 months. He was good in bed, had no brains, and liked to eat.
Yeah,
this
he
sounds
was
like she could
lazy.
be on 90 Day Fiance, right?
Yeah. She's fucking awesome.
Love at the lockup material here.
Yeah. And she's like, hey, you think I could get some money out of this or something?
yeah.
And then the film just cuts. They're like, oh no, don't pay her. And then we get to Mr. Tommaso.
Oh, damn, he's got some
My
fucking
son was
son
a no-
issues.
My son was a no good son of a bitch.
He's lazy. Yeah, I've written down he's lazy, but he died in a fucking jungle doing a documentary. What do you mean he's lazy?
Well, right. These are world-renowned like documentarians. Like these people are like really known for their
guess-
work, and all these people.
I
hate
wanted
their
him to be a
guts.
priest.
Yeah.
Well, he's the second person that said he was lazy.
Yeah.
That crew was lazy. I'm like, I guess when they weren't working on a documentary, they just ate and watched TV on the couch or something.
Fucked off. Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's
Well, I think it's also showing that these are not good people.
Yeah.
well,
Well,
true.
We'll definitely
One's a
see-
deadbeat dad.
Yeah, the one that ran
Yep.
off on his wife. Yeah. But he was
And
good
wait,
in
was
bed.
that other one a nun? Who was she?
She
Was
was
that her
the
sister? Was her sister
that
her
was her
actual
sister.
sister or
her
Okay.
actual sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So talk about extremes. She's walking around with a bush out in front of all those fucking guys with their fucking bushes out in some fucking foreign country, and the other one's a nun.
Yeah, and she's got some interesting views about sex and sexuality too. We'll find out.
Oh yeah.
So,
Fucking film. That's what she cares about.
So we cut back to them filming the documentary, and we see that they're like not having the best time of it. They've been walking for 6 days. One of them's
Okay.
pinning. Okay.
Sorry, is he drinking yellow water out of that jug?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nope. He
Okay.
probably just got it from the river. It's probably silty.
I mean, it looked
you
like
ever
a fucking
got-
filter or something, right?
Have you ever got water from a river? There's mud in it.
Don't you let that
Oh, I
shit at
forg-
least like fucking
I
simmer?
forgot.
Settle?
I forgot you don't leave the city.
I've been camping. and I have drank fucking water that did not come out of a tank. So, but still,
Oh,
that's
shit.
fucking
Excuse
yellow
me.
water. That's like fucking Woodstock 99 water.
Tim, there's probably some like apartments in Queens where the water looks like that. I'm sure.
No, there's been plenty of times in the apartments I lived in where you've had to let the water run because it would come out like
Jesus.
rust. But
Ugh.
it never came out fucking like piss yellow. Like, what the fuck am I drinking?
Yeah, it just looked like pee. It really did. It looked like he was drinking pee. And they're pissed off. They're not having a good time of it. One of them's pinning fucking butterflies to a board, and they find their campsite, and we get to the Asherz, your second purity test of a film
Yep.
fan,
That's right.
the turtle.
Another part I fast forwarded through.
The turtle. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they,
It's
See,
a hard
Candice,
one.
you have to, if you're going to watch it, you got to watch it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they just drag a big ass turtle out of the muddy water and rip it apart,
I
chop
was
it.
so hoping when they edited, when they did the cut from them taking it out of the water to when they threw it up, I was like, please let it be fake. Please let it be fake.
No,
Nope.
of course
No,
not.
not even close. It's a one-shot take. It's
Yeah.
very detailed and it's very, very real. And it is hard to watch. I mean, it is. It makes me sad, but you know.
And
Yeah, I was like, oh, first I got to watch Seed, and now I get to watch Cannibal Holocaust.
Wow,
Yeah.
Seed is really stuck with Candace.
well, Seed also has animal cruelty in it, Tim.
Yeah, like real animal cruelty.
Yeah.
They're not just
Yeah.
trying to make food. They were literally skinning animals alive for fur
Yeah.
and then just
Right.
letting them wander around with no skin.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. At least with this
Damn, I
one, like
blocked
the
that part of the
animals
movie out of my head.
get killed kind of quickly. So they kill and butcher the turtle, cook it up, and eat it. And I'm gonna kind of gloss over it because it's pretty gross. And
Yeah.
I don't know, we all love turtles. So
Here's the one thing I want to touch on this thing is
Mhm.
after they kill the turtle,
Mhm.
what they're doing to it does not look like something that you would be doing to something that you were going to be that you were preparing to eat. It looks like they're just doing it for the sake of just like pulling
Yeah.
shit and moving shit around.
Just
Yeah.
to do it. Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, so we'll pause for a moment and mention that the tribes in the movie were actual indigenous tribes.
Yes.
So
Oh,
they
yeah, that's right,
were eating these things. But the people that were slaughtering the turtle, those are all actors from New York, and
Right.
I don't think they've ever slaughtered a turtle before for to
True.
Yeah,
for
I think the
survivability.
direction was, all right, just stick your hands in there and move
Just,
shit
you know,
around.
figure it
Where
out,
if
kill it
it
and
was the
cut it up.
indigenous people who did it, they would probably kill the animal the same way, but I'm sure they wouldn't be
They would have
cleaning
wasted
it?
any part of it.
dressing
right.
it. Might be the right term.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And by the way, just as a note, the crew, the actors were fucking pissed about having to do this.
Oh,
Like-
they were mortified by
The-
a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
of
but
the
they're
things
gonna
that
have
they
to
were
fucking
asked
eat
to
that
do.
shit for fucking dinner and lunch for the next 4 days.
Yeah, they did not have a good time.
No, not the most fun. So they eat the turtle, and we cut to the
Wait,
next
this
day.
was the part that they had the problem with?
No, there's some other parts that they had
Okay.
some varying degrees of problems.
Because I was gonna
with.
say, I saw like 4 different parts. I was like, this in any other movie, this would be like the last day of shooting, right?
Yeah.
The first day of shooting to get
Yeah.
that shit out of the way. That's it. We know that you're in for this movie. You're not gonna quit on us in the middle of the jungle.
But then we'll see later on that like there's some even more intense shit that happens. We'll get to. So we cut to them walking through the forest again, and all of a sudden there's just a big ass spider on Faye. And this one bothered me because I have a pet tarantula.
Yeah.
So
And they
she,
killed the shit out of it.
yeah, freaks.
Yeah,
they
they
flick
did.
it off and cut it in
tarantulas
half.
really kill you?
No.
No.
Nah, not really. They don't have it. They're venomous, but they don't have enough venom.
Yeah, so like I have a rose-haired tarantula.
Yeah.
If it's big, like it's a big fucker. It's like 12 years old. If it bit you though, Tim, it would be almost as bad as a bee sting. Almost.
Okay, so it's slightly painful, but I mean, like, I don't
Yeah.
have to cut my fucking arm off or anything like that.
No.
No.
The ones you got to worry about are your black
The small
widows,
ones, the bright
and
colored ones.
brown recluses
Yeah.
primarily. Those are there is a big tarantula that's not super venomous, but it's a fucking asshole, and it's called a cobalt Doppler. It's a blue bird-eating spider that spins webs between trees.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And they're a fucking asshole. They will chase your ass down to bite you.
Fearless, yeah.
Yeah. But most tarantulas were just like, yeah, leave me alone. Anyhow.
Right.
Plus, don't forget the tarantulas on Gilligan's Island. That shit was fucking huge.
Yeah. The 100% accurate Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
Taught me everything I needed to know about traumatic brain injuries.
That's right.
And endless makeup.
And and radio signals through your fillings. So after that happens, we're setting up camp and we're just taking off our shoes to look at how fucked up our feet are.
What gets me is they're narrating it, and the film crew are, and they're like, "Oh, we have to sleep in the trees to avoid snakes and spiders," and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
No, snakes and
That's
spiders.
where
can get
the
into
snakes and
trees.
spiders are.
Yeah.
You know why? Because a lot of animals sleep in the trees to get away from the snakes and spiders, so they know what to do.
But that's where the snakes and spiders are.
Yeah.
Right. But to be fair, though, the actress that played Faye in this said that she did accidentally sit on a snake when they were filming.
That would suck.
Oh, no.
Well, it would suck even more depending on what kind of scene it was she was filming that day.
Oh, God.
That's true.
So, speaking of chance encounters with a snake, poor Felipe.
He's supposed to be their seasoned guide, but
Yeah?
he didn't check his shoes before he put them back on.
Right.
And you know what happens, folks?
There's a snake in my boot.
Oh my god.
Number one rule in the South, I know this.
Mm-hmm.
Knock your fucking shoes out before you put them on, right?
That's
Yeah,
right.
scorpions. Oh, yeah, in West Coast. Yeah, sorry. I lived in the desert, scorpions. You don't want to fuck with them, but definitely also snakes. Like, they like to get in boots and shit because it's cold and darker and nice for them.
It's
It's like a-
warm.
And they like the smell of feet.
Or warm, yeah. And it's a little, oh, maybe they have like a foot fetish thing going on.
That's what it is.
That's true. Has
Mm,
anyone stopped to ask them?
That's a good
That's-
question.
Yeah, that's a good point. So they hack his leg off, tourniquet it up, and try to
But
cauterize the
first,
wound.
it almost looks like they're cutting his toe off first, right?
They-
And then they cut his fucking leg off. What the fuck is up with that?
They also look like they're enjoying it. Like they're kind of smiling when they're cutting his leg off. And they're like, keep
Well,
filming,
he's
keep
the
filming.
outsider of the group.
Yeah,
and we're
yeah,
going to
but
find out
they
later
throw
on
it-
it makes for good footage, right? Pardon the pun.
If it bleeds, it leads, right?
Yeah, they're going to get some legs out of that story.
Fuck you,
God.
dude. So yeah, they cut his leg off, but it doesn't work out though. He's dead. And they just decide, all right, well, I guess we'll throw some leaves on him like there's some fucking shitty serial killer.
Well, don't they fucking cook his leg with the fucking hot knife? They cauterize it over
Yeah, they
and over
cauterize
and
it.
over again. I think you're supposed to do that once. I don't think you're supposed to keep doing that, right?
Like
I
I
mean,
said,
I guess
I
you
think
do it
they
as
enjoy
long as it takes. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you just do it to stop the bleeding, I guess. But like this
Plus,
guy's
if
fucking
they're-
dead.
If their guide dies, and they're like, well, we'll just keep going. I mean, we don't have to stop. I'm like, you're like that dumbass who went into the Alaskan wilds with no equipment.
You
and
know what I'm
died.
doing right here?
You
Candice?
deserve
I'm
what
washing my
happened to
hands.
you.
Listen to that sound. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. So what? Guess what? You don't want a vaccine? Go ahead. Just go off into the fucking jungle.
Yeah, that's their life at this point. And boy, howdy, the choices.
Well, see, here we go with the
Yeah.
the American imperialism, right?
That's right.
We don't know what the fuck we're doing. The only person that could kind of help us out just fucking died in a horrible way. Fuck it. Let's go there for the next 20 years.
We know better because we're white.
Right, and let's get some B-roll of Faye peeing for comedic relief, by the way.
Sure.
Sure, why not? So they build the shittiest raft I've ever seen and try to float across the river. A caiman
Poor
tries to...
cameraman. He always has to go first because he's taking the shot from the other side of the fucking river.
Exactly.
And then we get the caiman that's trying to eat him, but the anaconda distracts it, I guess.
That's so. I mean, yeah. First off,
Hey, the anaconda saved us.
Caimans are small. Like
Yeah.
they might take a bite out of you, but you're not gonna die unless you get an infection from it. But they're more. Then they're like, oh god, an anaconda too? You know, like their lives are in danger? I'm like, that anaconda's not gonna fuck with you. It's gonna just, go away.
just,
Like, these people
it's just
have no idea
jungle
what the
stuff.
hell they're doing.
Just jungle stuff. It's all right.
Yeah. No, they're too busy drinking fucking piss water out of some weird swamp and probably
Slaughtering
getting
turtles.
fucking
Maybe it's
giardia or
wine.
something.
Maybe these fucking rich bourgeois motherfuckers are drinking wine walking through the fucking jungle. That's why it's that color.
So they're like the rich guy from Pitch Black when they didn't have any water and he just kept drinking his wine.
It's a good idea. Why not?
Gonna dehydrate you faster.
Yeah, but he wasn't going to make it off that fucking planet to begin with. Come on.
Yeah, well, he had Riddick on his team. That's all you need.
True.
Yeah. So they finally find one of the tribe's guys, and they just shoot the guy in the fucking leg. By the way, because they're like,
Yeah,
well, this.
It's easier to follow him that way.
Yeah, you know what? I would slow down because the dude probably knows he's being followed. Slow down and then kill them. Like, they're assholes. Fuck them. But no, they follow him back to the tribe, get to the village, and immediately just start waving their guns around, right? And just sticking the cameras in everybody's fucking face.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Then they go
And this is
over.
supposed to be. Is this supposed to be the tree tribe or the swamp tribe? Which one is this?
I think this is the tree tribe, because these are the people that ultimately seal their fate.
Okay, and these tree tribes and the swamp tribe have been going back and forth with the Civil War, back and forth. They've been really brutal with each other. It's like common knowledge. If one of them gets caught on the other one's turf, they're pretty much fucked. But there's 3 or 4 fucking people in there. Why don't they take out a fucking blow dart and start blowing these motherfuckers? Well, blow darn them.
Maybe they're just not trying to start shit immediately with these fucking new kind of people that they haven't seen. Like, I think they kind of suggest that these tribes haven't really had contact with the outside world before.
Yeah. Well, that's
You
true.
know?
Yeah, I
these
think
people
they're
Yeah, at
waving
one
their
point she
guns
says
and-
when they're filming it that they've never seen anything. They think that they're magic.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think they're kind of bewildered. Like, the fuck are these people? Like,
Yeah.
what are they doing?
And just sticking a camera in their face, shooting and being assholes. Then they just march over, like, hey, you got a pig that's like fucking tethered to this thing. Let's go ahead and shoot the fucking pig. And Nicolas Cage would have been pissed, by the way. These fucking assholes.
Yeah, actually, the pig situation. It was supposed to be one of the other actors. It was supposed to be Carl York that shot it, but he I watched, actually, he did like a show, like a whole hour-long show talking about Cannibal Holocaust, and he was pissed off because he was asked to shoot this pig, and he's like getting real upset. He's like, I couldn't do that. I rode on the boat with this pig. We had a relationship, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I had a
Pigs are
pet
smart.
pig.
Yeah, and he
I
just
had a pet pig named
no, pigs
Spencer.
are great. No, pigs are wonderful.
Oh my
and,
God, Candice, we
he
need to
was-
see
What?
pictures.
yeah, please, yeah. Where what?
He was a
His
Vietnamese
name
potbelly
was
pig. His name was
Spencer.
Spencer.
Oh,
Did you put
Oh,
pants
he was
on
so
that pig?
cute. No,
Okay.
no, but he was very well house trained.
yeah, he was,
Like,
but no, he was very upset. He was very upset by having to do it, and that was like the first. I don't know if that was really. I think that was like really what tipped him over the edge, because the whole crew. I mean, just if you go back and as actors and stuff like that, they just absolutely regret and hate being in this movie. And
I'm sure it
it's
was a really
understandable.
bad time.
Yeah, he's like, you want me to just go over and just shoot the pig just because?
Yeah, so wait, this was like Woody Allen before Woody Allen. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then, like, the other thing is the tribe is like, I mean, that's probably food for them,
Yeah,
and they just
they
fucking
bring that up. It's like that's their food.
yeah, just like an asshole, just shoot it. But that's okay. They're not done yet, because the next move is like they have a really good idea. Why don't we just monologue about how in the jungle there's this daily violence of the strong that have to overcome the weak.
Yeah, they're bullshitting so hard.
And
Right.
just
These are the worst documentarians ever.
hey, you
They're
know
not
what,
even-
Candice?
They're not even attempting to, actually show anything real or true.
Is this Project Virtus?
They really are the super troopers of documentary filmmakers, right, Tim? They're bad at their job.
But they're not even fucking funny.
Yeah. No, because the next move is that they just round everybody up, put them in a hut, and light the hut on fire.
Yeah.
Why?
This is what I have written down. What? Exclamation point, exclamation point. What?
Yeah, I guess watching this for the first time, how does this movie make you feel, Tim?
Well, if I didn't hate them anymore, this is like the fucking thing. Because I'm like, wait, what the fuck are they doing here? It's like, this is like plan A, right? This is plan B.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. They just went right in with it. Cinematically, this is probably one of my favorite scenes of any movie ever. It's, the practical effects is great. I mean, they just, filming all the fire and the way it looked. Deodato does do a really good job making things look extremely realistic.
Oh, yeah.
And, this captured it along with the soundtrack, playing over top of this burning hut and all the chaos and pain. It's exactly. Yep. It's really kind of a morbidly beautiful scene. But it's really good. And it really kind of, but then it shows you, because then at that point that's when you really realize, oh shit, these people are assholes. And, it sinks in. So.
I mean,
but then doesn't that fuck up the whole thing before, where the producer, somebody back in the real world in New York City, says what they're doing is fake and setups? Is that just their cover? When they're going to these places, are they fucking actually doing it? And they're just going, no, it's just a setup, don't worry. So that way they can sell it and show it?
Well, I think they were, because when they started to torch the place, they said, we'll do it just like Cambodia.
Yeah.
Right, so they're setting up these scenes and they're filming these horrific events for sensationalism is what they're doing it for. I mean, obviously, it's not that exciting.
But what they're doing is they're telling the producers back home,
that
don't worry, it's not real, it's fake. But instead of faking it, they're just doing it. They're making 100% profit, let's say.
Right, they're straight up, yes, exactly.
And so the idea here is that they're trying to make it look like the rival tribe massacred this tribe, and that's going to be maybe setting off some kind of a war or something. Like, basically they're trying to show the brutality, quote unquote, of the jungle, but there is no brutality. These people, well, while they're not peaceful and they are at war with each other, they're not fucking rounding up men, women, and children into a hut and burning it down. Like, it's literally pure exploitation. Like, the worst type of exploitation. And Asher, to your point, they're dancing around outside, swinging their guns around, talking about exactly how beautiful it is.
Right.
Which it is. Like, it's shot incredibly. And the practical effects of, like, the burning bodies and such, and the acting of everybody it's insanely
really well done. Yeah, really well done considering, the subject matter, but like I said, morbidly beautiful. It is.
I mean, you get a sense of the gravity of the scene. Like, it's all fake.
Well, no,
clearly.
something could be disturbing to look at, but overall, watching it the way it's done, if it's done the right way and by a professional, it looks beautiful. But it's the scene that gets me is just when you see them all like in the back of the tent, then you're just seeing like the fire, where it looks like where it would look like it's semi-imposed over it, or they're CGI graphics today. It looks like they're really in the fucking fire.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Fun times.
Good.
But then they film themselves committing atrocities. I'm like, dude, you better fucking trust your editor, right?
Yeah. Well, they are probably editing their own shit. Like, I have to assume, right?
He's the one who gets the most of the profit from selling it, right?
Yeah. So now we understand maybe the dude that was freaking out before and doing his cool interpretive dance about what happened in the village, and maybe why everybody was a little apprehensive about more white people just walking around in their fucking land, because goddamn, it didn't work out too well before.
No.
Well, did you also mention that after they burned the village down, they added insult to injury by fucking in front of all the survivors?
Yeah, so
oh my God.
About to make
That's
a point
the next
about
scene.
that scene.
Okay, sorry. I jumped ahead.
Because if that did not work out for you, ladies and gentlemen, Faye is ready to play. And they literally fuck on the ashes of the dead, which I've got some fun notes about this scene.
UTIs.
So
Come on. They've been walking through the jungle for God knows how long. They have not taken showers or baths,
yeah.
and the baths they've taken her is in that filthy river water. She's getting a UTI.
It's pretty ripe. Yeah.
at a minimum. So speaking of UTIs,
That's what's keeping the natives back.
we have got a real he said, she said about this scene. Now, the male actor in this scene claims that nothing happened here, that she approached him nervous about this scene and said, why don't we sneak off and actually have sex to like break the tension and be cool for this scene coming up? And he's like, no, I've got a girlfriend back in New York, yada, yada, yada. She claims that this scene was unsimulated, that they literally fucked in this scene.
Yeah.
That was
So
when the unrated version.
he says that didn't happen, but
because he had a girlfriend.
because he had a girlfriend, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
And that might be something illegal to admit to.
Not so
true.
much illegal, but well, maybe. And I don't know about you, but I'm hashtag believe all women. So
Yeah.
I choose to believe that
Yep.
they just fucked.
Absolutely. I'm just I will accept that reality.
The other thing that I've heard when Joe Bob Riggs was covering this on Last Drive-In was that it took them 15 takes to do this scene.
Oh,
And
Jesus Christ.
some of the locals that were watching while it was being filmed were like, God, this is like a Superman. Because this guy has been fucking this broad.
How great would
that
it be if
did
they like all
happen.
busted out into a fucking orgy because they all got so horny watching this guy fuck
Well,
for
that's
15 minutes.
Yeah,
Holy
that's
shit.
that's what Carl York. That's what he said. He said that the one of the people came up to him afterwards and it was like trying to congratulate him, and he was like, "Oh, you know," he's like, "You went 5 times," and he's like, "What, 5 times?" And he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, I did." And he said that the people, the tribes people, did not speak to him the entire time except for that point to congratulate him on his 5
Well, they were
times.
looking for tips, clearly. I mean, they had never. To be fair, Sting hadn't traveled down here yet. So,
If it was shot 15 times,
Mhm.
like, then they didn't actually have sex.
Maybe.
They had to shoot it and reshoot it and reshoot it.
Well, all right, hold on. Do you want to get down to technical? Because let's just say once his dick slips inside of her once for even one take, that's it. They had sex. It was
Yeah.
not. It's not unsimulated,
Well,
right?
and maybe they tried to do it. They tried to shoot it 15 times, and then when they finally got that take, it was when they were just like, you know what, let's just do this for real.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that's the take that took. You know what I mean? Because even like afterwards, even the dialogue where he like looks up and he's like yelling at the cameraman, like, "Oh, you asshole!" Like that seems so real. Like
Yeah.
I have a hard
And
time
I've-
believing
I don't
that
know.
was.
I've heard this attributed to other films too, like Don't Look Now. That sex scene, like people swore up and down that they were actually having sex in it, and it's not true. It just makes me suspicious of it.
Well, the other thing, look, it's a good selling point because here we are arguing about whether or not
Talking
it's
about-
true among all the other fucking things. If the turtles don't get you, if the cannibalism doesn't get you, maybe they really fucked. Let me see that. Plus, at the time when that movie came out, unless you were watching a porn movie, you never got to see anybody even look like they were close to fucking.
Yeah, and they definitely look like they were fucking. I mean, that's what it looks like, So it's, but I think it's because the actress said that they did. That really, it's not just like the audience is saying that they did. It's that the actress says.
Well,
that they
yeah,
did.
does she have anything to gain by saying that they did?
Right.
Maybe she was hurt because she got spurned. And so she's like, well, I'm just going to tell everybody that we did it on film, and here it is, and they can watch it.
Yeah, I've
Fair.
seen that look in a woman's eyes before. That's when you're just having disappointing sex in far too public of a venue. So I think I'm gonna say
Oh, wow.
it probably
Sorry.
happened. So now we cut
The
to
whole point of having sex in public is you're looking around to see who's watching you.
yeah, but meanwhile, like everybody's watching them, and yeah. Anyhow, So we cut to the professor talking about maybe how we're actually the savages and not them, and that really makes you think,
Yeah, I
right?
have written
That's
down
what's
food
crazy.
For thought.
What's crazy is he's like, you know what? Maybe we're the assholes.
Yeah.
We did this to these people, and the,
Right.
the,
He should
the
write
other
it.
people.
Am I the asshole?
and so the woman, one of the producers, is like, "What a strange thought! Like the unbridled ethnocentrism of the people here is astounding. Like, oh, maybe we're not the good guys.
Wait a
Maybe
minute.
that was fucked up."
That's possible?
Yeah, the fact that
Nah.
it never even entered their head before, they could be wrong.
Right.
So then we cut to them they drug off a woman that was burned half to death, and they're interviewing her while another guy pisses in their river. So,
That's why the fucking water they're drinking is yellow. He's
Yeah.
fucking filling up his water bottle downstream.
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Maybe you made a good point about how maybe we're the bad guys. Because they're like, oh, this person agreed to come with us to help us find the other ones. And it's like, no, this is just a woman that you burned half to death and drug out of there. So that's cool.
Right.
And they're like, well, they like to come to some remote area. And another dude's like shaving. He's like, I'm going to, getting a little scruffy here. And then Faye gets, all broken up about it.
Oh, this is where she draws the line.
Yeah. She's like, come on. Now you're being ridiculous. Well, that's cool, though, because we see another fun ritual taking place.
I think this is the one that I didn't remember happening.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, it just completely...
I forget
guess
about. Yeah, I forget
because
about it.
in
a lot.
the grand scheme of this movie, this is kind of tame. Like, as horrible as that sounds.
Right.
Well, yeah, so, Candice, you work in healthcare. I've only been around for 2 childbirths, and that's both of
Oh,
mine.
we're up to this scene. Okay.
Yeah. So they strap this woman in a la Job from Lawnmower Man, and are just trying to remove a fetus from her.
Does it look like the
Feels-
other women are pregnant also?
Well, I was trying
At
to
least a
figure out
few
what
of them, it looks
exactly...
like.
What exactly they were doing, because I'm like, you can, give birth while you're walking around. It does help knock it loose, so to speak.
Mhm.
Like, that is a real thing. Get up and walk around, and it'll help the baby lower down.
Yeah.
But, yeah, then they'd have her strapped up there, and they take the fetus out, because that's a preemie. Like,
yeah.
it's all, like, not fully formed. And then they just shove it in some mud, and then go on with their day, and I'm like, what, was that like, were they like, this baby's not gonna make it? Or it was born dead, and so they just buried it, and...
Well, they give some like commentary about how it's like a cleansing ritual and about like impurity. But again, unreliable
some kind of
narrators.
disease. How they don't let any disease take foot in their tribe. That's what they say.
But that's what
Right?
those white people say, and you can't trust what they're saying.
Right, like I said,
Yeah,
unreliable
that's-
narrators.
yes, okay.
So, that's fun.
So
They're
maybe
just
it's
making
just
shit up as
Tuesday.
they go along.
Oh, and by the way,
That's what the tribe does on Tuesdays.
after that, they beat the woman to death.
Of course.
Yeah, that was another thing that I was like, what? Why? Because she had a
So all right, so wait, hold on. Maybe she's pregnant with somebody's baby and she's not married, or she's supposed to be a virgin, and that's the punishment. And the disease that the Imperials think it's got to do something with her having.
Maybe it's a moral disease.
Yeah.
Maybe this is like some rich people shit. Like some dude stepped out and knocked up some broad from a lower caste, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta handle this."
Okay, no argument.
No, nothing. All right, cool.
We all agree.
Yeah, we're all like, yeah, that's what rich people do.
Yeah,
they,
that
they
sounds
pay for
about
the
right, yeah.
abortion.
Yeah, but their abortion stuff doesn't, and then they don't want any witnesses. So yeah. So the professor tells the film company, "Look, man, this is all bullshit. I don't want to have anything fucking to do with it. It's gross. It's terrible. You
It's
fuckers."
not even a documentary. It's
Yeah. And he's like, "By the way, you fuckers haven't even watched this shit, so you need to shut the fuck up about it."
Yeah, this shit is like Josh Duggard bad.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Then he's like, actually, why don't you guys watch it and then tell me what you want to do?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Which is
He
incredible.
throws
How
the gauntlet
none of them
down.
have watched that fucking thing. They're ready to fucking put that show on the air on 60 Minutes,
Live.
but they haven't watched it. Yeah.
Tim, I completely get it. So remember when Michael Moore was a big name, Fahrenheit 9/11, Bowling for Columbine, that whole thing?
Yes.
Imagine he went down to, let's say, for sake of argument, Missouri, and he did an embedded with like the
God.
KKK down there and died, but we found the footage, right? You're telling me that a production
No, that's
company
true.
wouldn't be like, holy shit, we are going to make
Yes.
a
Right.
bagillion dollars.
Yes, but I think that before you start getting to the point where they're at is you would have had somebody who looked at the footage that you have. Otherwise,
No.
you end up with Geraldo Rivera opening up Al Capone's vault.
Doesn't matter. You edit around it. It's fine. Everybody tuned
No,
in
but
to
not
see
back
it, didn't
then.
they? You
That's
tuned
true.
in
I
to
remember
see
watching that. Motherfucker
Geraldo,
opening
right?
up that vault. Jesus Christ.
It worked. It was more disappointing than every time the Bills were in the Super Bowl. They're like, all right, cool. Yeah, let's go take a look at it. And we just cut to them like having a fun little foreign fruit lunch. The documentary people, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's like Mammy is the stuff. I've had it before, made into like drinks or fruit pops. It's pretty good. And then they catch a young lady.
They got one.
We got one. Janine just ringing the fucking bell for him.
Oh my god.
Okay. So, Tim, if you're in the jungle
Mm-hmm.
and you catch a Yanomamo lady, I mean, clearly you just gang rape her, right?
Well, I mean, at this point, we shouldn't be surprised with what the fuck they're doing, right? But, Jesus Christ, it's like, really, they just want you to hate these motherfuckers, and they're just piling it on. So I think it's like to justify what's going to happen to them, where we're like, it's fucked up. But you know what? I want to watch it because they deserve it. They fucking deserve what happens.
It's
Right.
totally the I spit on your grave thing, you know, of like,
yes, the rape and revenge. Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it
Exactly. So, but it's fun though because it's like the found footage guerrilla kind of filming style, you know. So, first, like Faye's like, "All right, guys, come on, you're being silly." When the first guy's raping her, and then
Yeah, this is where I mean, you really lose her as a fucking character, Faye, right? Because she's not telling them to stop raping that woman.
yeah,
She's upset that they're wasting too much film on it.
yeah. Come on, you guys are wasted. Well, I think that's part of it, right? Because the first guy rapes her, and then he tags the other guy in, and he's like, "All right, now I'm gonna rape her."
And then they tag her boyfriend.
Yeah, her boyfriend. Yeah.
You think that's the final straw? That's what sets her off? Where she's
that
bitching
is,
about
it
the
is.
film?
Yeah.
So, all right, so that's even more that's still fucked up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because-
it is.
Right.
because then the cameraman gets off of her, picks the camera back up, and Alan's like, "Yo, this is Alan, and this is rape a native girl."
Yeah.
Oh,
And
God.
she's not fucking having any of it.
Oh my
She's like, "You piece of shit." Look, I gotta make jokes about the fucking gang rape of the native girl, okay?
I know, but you're not supposed to make them so funny. God damn it, man.
You gotta have that comic relief, that's for sure.
Yeah. So then he finishes off. And you know what's funny, though, about Faye is I didn't have her pegged for the jealous type.
Well, she jumps in and it's almost like she's going to get fucking raped at a point too, right? With the other guy.
Yeah, that's true,
Yeah.
because they have to hold her ass down. Well, now we change the reels, and we cut to the image,
Yeah.
the scene,
image.
the cover art, the poster, the t-shirt, everybody had it, the keychain, your cell phone background, the shish kabrad.
Oh, that's a great term. Yeah, did you come up with that? Is that yours? I'm impressed.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. You better fucking trademark that shit, man, before the show
Yeah.
comes out.
You know
That's
when I
right.
thought of it? 3 seconds before I said it. So,
Oh my.
We
That's when
just
they're the best
see-
ones, man.
of course, we just see the native girl impaled. Go ahead. Get the laughs out first, Tim. We see the native girl.
It's just so fucking good. Holy shit, man.
Thank you. Impaled through her vagina first with a spear that then comes out of her throat and out of her mouth. And this is one of the scenes. This is one of the shots that made the Italian government be like, "Oh, she's dead." And to be fair, it looks incredible.
Oh yeah,
it looks
seamless.
very real.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
It's and
there's only one other
scenes in
scene
the
that's going to
movie.
come up in the movie where I'm just like, wait, did they just really do that for real? And then I cross my legs.
Like the dead bodies and stuff, like they don't look real at all. Like they look really bad, And the guy getting his leg cut off doesn't look great, But then you get this, and you're like, wow. I mean, it's really well done.
Maybe
really well
if
done.
you're slick and you're smart, what you do is you set up low expectations, where you set up a couple bullshit skeletons hanging up in the trees. You show a bullshit leg, and then you show something that's competently done, and then it looks 100 times more real.
It's true.
That's
true. That's true.
So the way that this was done was they had a post that was set up. They stripped the girl nude, of course. They put a bicycle seat on the post.
Well, let's just say they asked her to take her clothes off, Eddie.
Okay. Well, they asked her if it would be okay. They got expressed enthusiastic consent. They put a bicycle seat on the post. She sat on the bicycle seat, tipped her head straight up, and they put the prop end of the spear coming out of it into her mouth and then dripped the blood down from that. And it looks phenomenal. Like, because they also did some extra kind of like bulky makeup around the throat to make it look like the throat was stretched out where the spear was coming. Yeah. Chef's kiss. Love it.
Hey, if it gets you put in jail, it must be doing something.
For God's sake.
Well,
right.
And you know what? Exactly what horror director doesn't want to be, charged with murder? I mean,
yeah.
he did it right. He did
I mean,
right.
it's like the interview that I had with Faustus when he was asking me about how I wasn't offended by his transgressive work or didn't think of it as being like problematic. And I'm like, I don't know, it's fantasy or whatever. And he's like, dang. Because you kind of want the people to get their pitchforks out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
you're
kind
crazy,
of
man. What the fuck you doing?
Exactly. Yeah. Because I mean that's part of the exchange that we have with artists. Or
that you're just so used to people doing that when somebody has a reaction like, yeah, okay, whatever, man. If that's what you like, you're just like taken aback.
Well, there's your money shot. We wander into the woods. We spot one of the tree people, and oh shit. Surrounded. They start taking some pop shots. They get swarmed. Jack takes a spear to the heart. Alan goes to like mercy kill Jack, but Faye's like pissed. It's like, no, don't mercy kill him. That's not good.
Well, they never stop filming because they're like, this is good shit.
Of course, yeah.
Let's
It's the
keep
Blair
filming.
Witch Project, right? Keep filming no matter
Get an
what.
Oscar. Well, I think at this point, doesn't he already say at least like 2 times, like how everybody wanted to turn back, but I told them how rich and famous we were going to be, and that convinced them to keep going.
Well, that's what look, it's what I'm doing an episode on Cannibal Holocaust, and I'm making rape jokes, Tim. I'm trying to get famous too, buddy. And you fuckers are all here with me, just going to hell. All of you just coming down with me to hell. I love it.
No, because you said the joke, but you edited us laughing. I mean, at no point did we ever laugh at that joke.
Oh, sure.
Every
Fuck
joke
you.
he makes, he has to edit laughter.
That's very true. So, and then they just cut Jack's dick off. Just slice. Ka-tink.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is... I've never seen a fucking dick cut off like this in any movie. I've never seen anything cut off like that in a fucking movie.
They don't cut away from it.
No.
They're like, there's his dick. Then we grab like a sharp knife, and then we cut, and then it's spurting
It looks
blood.
like a stone knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in frame, just right in the middle of it. And then they rip him apart and eat him. And I have to wonder, I have to ask the question, is it because they're like, I'm going to eat the guy, but I'm not going to eat his dick?
Maybe. As like a way to like slight
that'd be
him.
gay?
Yeah, that'd be totally gay. I mean, it's only gay if they look them in the eyes while they do it. Yeah.
I'm
It's
sorry.
like kind of like how Tim doesn't, smoke cigars. It's too
Yeah.
phallic. Can't have that in his mouth.
I'd rather have a little tiny white dick in my mouth. Yes.
That joke is an homage. Rest in peace to Trevor Moore from The Whitest Kids You Know. They did a wonderful sketch about the people that crashed into a mountain and froze to death, cannibalized people, and starved to death because they refused to eat the people's dicks because that would be gay. So that's an homage to them with that joke.
Wait, did they have to start on the dicks? Couldn't you make that the last thing that you ate?
No, literally that's the joke, Tim, is they ate the whole person, and then there was like 16
but they
dicks,
just let the dick.
and nobody wanted to eat the dicks, so they starved to death.
But somebody ate the balls?
Probably
ate the ass.
didn't eat they probably ate the ass, yeah, but not the balls either.
Mm.
So Trevor Moore, this is for you, buddy, that joke.
See, I thought you were going to say Norm Macdonald died. Because that joke about the cigarette and the cigar, that's a Norm Macdonald joke.
Oh, really? I should know that. I love Norm Macdonald's comedy,
I
not
know.
the
That's
man
why
or his
whenever
politics.
I say it and you never say anything about it, I'm like, all right, he's just fucking with me. He has to know that's Norm Macdonald.
I don't know. I love his stuff, but I don't know that one. But I
that
don't
was on
like his
Dennis Miller.
politics. Okay. That makes sense. So, yeah, then after they eat him, we just kind of follow the film crew with a little hodgepodge mix of them trying to escape. One of them decides to fire off some flares, like, I'm the god of fire. Maybe this will scare them away. That doesn't really work, though, because they're like, yeah, we've seen fire before, like
Yeah,
the
but
whole
usually they
village.
Get the women to fall out of the trees.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tim.
That would have been great if when he was shooting the fucking
Good
flag
point.
gun, smoke was going up, and women just started falling out of the tree.
One of them falls and takes him out. Oh, that'd be the best. So, no, that doesn't work. They get Faye, and now it's Faye's turn. So
Yes, I wonder. I wrote down, is she yelling because they're wasting too much film?
Oh, no. At this point, Tim, she's yelling because she's being revenge gang raped by the tribe. Because remember, they gang raped one of theirs, and now it's,
That's right, and there was a witness from the tribe who saw the whole thing.
Yep, because we saw that exactly during the gang rape scene. There was a tribe member hiding in the bushes. Then they beat her to death, behead her, and mutilate her body. Because I guess you don't eat women or something.
That's unclean.
Batman?
They bleed once a month.
Yeah,
That's
you're either
true.
Batman or who was the rapper? God damn it. Anyhow, now Alan gets
Some
spotted.
stupid idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Moron. So then Alan gets spotted, and fucking irony of ironies, and I love it. He just gets beaten. His camera fucking falls and points right at his face. And the very last thing that piece of shit gets to see before he dies is the same camera that he was sticking in other fucking people's face.
Yeah, I never thought about that before. You're right.
Yeah.
Wow, you're right. It's a really good shot.
Kind of like Robert Downey Jr. in Natural Born Killers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Quentin Tarantino, you hack upon a hack upon a hack.
I mean, this film inspired a lot of filmmakers. Like, I mean, you've definitely said before Eli Roth, but I tell you who this film didn't inspire were the producers, because we cut back to them watching it in their little theater, and
This,
everybody
for me,
just like
this is the
gets
most
up and
unbelievable
leaves.
part of the whole
Yeah.
movie.
They don't say
I'm sorry,
anything.
Candace, what?
The one dude picks up a phone and he
Yeah.
goes,
Yep.
and he says, "Burn all of it."
They burn that on the
Yeah.
CDs and they sell it, but they don't fucking burn that fucking film.
They didn't have that technology, but no, they exactly. One of the producers calls the projectionist and is like, "Look, dude, you've got to burn all this fucking material. We're done." And the professor's like, I was right. And as he leaves, he has his little, I wonder who the real cannibals are moment, smokes his pipe and scratches his beard.
His fucking
For a
corn
minute.
cob pipe. What the
'Cause
fuck
the-
up? What kind of professor smokes corn cob?
So, Tim, I have 3 pipes. I smoke pipe tobacco and love it. My favorite one,
Uh-huh.
corncob pipe.
Are you a professor?
No, I'm a
Ah,
stupid guy,
okay.
so it makes sense. Uh, So the professor.
Just now picture you. Tell me one of the other ones you have is a Sherlock pipe.
No, I wish. Those are expensive.
Yeah, the woman's like, the woman producer's like, these are such monsters. I can't believe that people like this exist. And the professor says, well, look at it in another situation. What if they came into your house and took all your food and burned the place
Flushed it
down
down
with
the
your family
toilet.
inside of it? And she's like, I never thought of it that way. And I'm like, really? Like,
Never.
really? Like, you never
Yeah,
thought for
really,
1 second?
Candice. Really?
I guess, I don't know. I guess it's not that hard to believe nowadays that people have a total lack of empathy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
wow,
true.
look at
And yeah, this is the walk away. We zoom out. We have some of the cool kind of shots of the whole urban jungle and that fun folk music again. And we roll credits. Man, what a feel-good movie we just watched, ladies and gentlemen.
I thought it's a perfect date movie. I'm telling you.
Perfect
It's-
date
A
movie.
dinner date.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
If they're still around by this point, you're in like Flynn.
For real.
That's right.
So I'm going to go around the room. I know it's a tough watch, but Candice, is this something, if nobody's seen it, if you've not seen this film, and the things we've described, you think you're like cool enough to watch, would you suggest it?
I would. This reminds me of a conversation I had with this dude I used to work with at my last job. He was 21 or 20, something like that, and he was like, "Oh man," because he knows that I like horror movies. He's like, "Have you ever heard of this movie called Terrifier? I heard it's really fucked up." And I said, "I don't know. It can't be that bad. I've seen Cannibal Holocaust." And he goes, "What's that?"
Wait, is
This is a
Terrifier
guy
the one
who-
with the clown?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
yes.
Wonderful movie, by the
I
way.
was like,
It's a great
I
one,
was
yeah.
like, what? So I was like, go watch that, and then come back to me and tell me that the Terrifier is just so extreme.
And?
And no, he didn't. He never listens to me.
Oh, god damn it.
He's 21.
I
He's
know.
not going to listen to Candace.
But especially if you're a person like me and you watch movies that you normally wouldn't because you like to have a good solid background on a subject you're interested in, horror movies, then yeah, you have to watch it. You do. I'm not going to promise you're going to enjoy it, but you should watch it.
Tim, what about you, buddy?
I will recommend this movie. Yes, if
Really?
if push comes to shove and it gets too bad for you, what you can do the Candace thing and fast forward it over a couple of scenes. But if you're into horror movies, I mean, yes, this probably has inspired a lot of different movies and a lot of different people. So you should definitely check it out. Just be forewarned that I mean, whatever triggers you is probably in this fucking movie at some point, right?
It's true.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
And Asher's, of course, you recommend it, right? I mean,
I of course, you know,
You better
I've
recommend this
recommended
movie.
it
If you
to-
come on and say this movie fucking sucked, that's it. You're last
It's awful. I hate it.
She says,
so
haha, gotcha, I hate this movie.
Right, it's the worst ever. I just wanted to make you guys watch it. No, actually, I own 2 copies of this movie. Because so I ordered it online, and it showed up, except it didn't show up. And I live in an apartment building, and so it got delivered to the wrong apartment. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, so I had to call. I got it from Best Buy to call Best Buy and tell them that my copy of Cannibal Holocaust isn't here. So they had to send me another one.
I want it
And
today.
then about a week later, the original shows up at my door, opened. So I don't know if the neighbors watched it.
Whoever got the fucking DVD, they're like, hey, it's a free DVD. Let's check it out. Yo, honey, go
And
through
then
the
they were
fucking
like,
garbage. What
yeah.
apartment was it supposed to fucking go
Yeah.
to? Get this shit out of our apartment right now.
I don't want to go to jail.
They were done with it. So it's not it's not the most extreme movie out there. It's really not.
No.
It is very extreme, but it is really, it's an important piece of cinematic history. And what's funny is that a lot of people kind of misconstrue it because it gets put into the same field as all of the mondo films and stuff like that. And for the time, but the thing was that Deodato was trying to kind of showcase how much that was exploitation, but he was still exploiting these people. It got strange, and he kind of got really carried away with it as a project, and definitely pushed limits that like I said, something like this, you can't really get away with something like that, like this today. As far as recommending it goes, you can purchase it. You can purchase an animal cruelty-free version that has none of the animal killings in it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you can. Anywhere that you buy
I
a
wonder
movie,
how that
so
affects
that's
the movie.
possible. Well, I mean, it wouldn't really. You wouldn't have the animal killings in it, but it doesn't really have
It
anything to
didn't
do with
affect it for
plot.
me because I just fast forwarded that shit.
Yeah,
Right, and so
that's a
Yeah, but you're
great
still
idea.
you're aware of it. You've seen it. It's got to affect you somehow.
Yes, I've seen it before.
Well, yeah,
That's true.
it makes it heavy. I mean, it definitely makes it heavier. But for the people that do want to watch it, a lot of people shy away from it because of the animal killings, which I understand. I don't eat animals, so I get it. But you can watch it without that. There's still rape and stuff. So I mean, it's still it's still heavy. But absolutely, yeah. I mean, watch it. Even if you only watch it the one time, it's important. The message is really good. Once you start digging into the rabbit hole of all the different scenes and why Deodato did what he did, then it just becomes. I mean, honestly, it's kind of a masterpiece. It really is.
It is.
Just
I
give it a
agree with
chance.
that.
Yeah, it is. So that's my
Just for the
opinion.
cultural touchstone that it is.
Now, isn't it
Exactly.
interesting that there's an animal cruelty-free version, but there isn't a rape-free version of this movie?
I find that very interesting, also. But I mean, it's
Probably
misogyny and
because they
stuff.
weren't really raped, but those animals
Well,
really
that's
were
true,
killed.
too.
Yeah, but I mean, these are pretty explicit fucking rape scenes.
Yeah, but honestly, the animal cruelty doesn't move the plot at all.
But the rape does.
Rape kind of does.
That's true.
mean-
That's true. It wouldn't be the same. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you wouldn't have the
It
shish
sucks.
kebab without the rape and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
Shish kebab.
shish kebab, whatever.
It's okay. She kebab works too. They're both
Shish kebab.
good. Yep. So I mean, 100%, I would recommend this. It's a phenomenal movie. I watched it when I was like 13, and I vaguely like remembered it, and it was mostly the scenes that you were talking about, Asherz, which is like, okay, there's this scene and that scene, and they're intense. And quite frankly, I was like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not the weirdest about watching animal cruelty stuff. Like, I used to fish and hunt and break down and butcher animals and stuff, so I'm kind of familiar with it. But it's also like mean because the animal in this, like, it's not their fault, and they weren't really being broken down and handled well. They were kind of suffering. But going back and watching it, though, I'm like, holy shit, there's so much more going on just under the surface of it. And 13-year-old me was too stupid to get it. I'm barely smart enough to understand it now. But I get some of the ideas and some of the things that they're going for, and I would definitely suggest that people get the animal cruelty free version of it. I think PETA might have it on their website, maybe. I don't know where you get it, but
Yeah.
pick it up.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
And I think with that, we'll get to the plugs. So, Asherz, thank you so much for being on here for the second time. Again, wonderful having you on here. And if our listeners want to hear more of you and more of what you're doing, where can they go? Where can they get a little more of you?
Sure. So, for more real life monsters, I host a weekly show called On Wednesdays We Talk Weird. It's a podcast about the paranormal and cryptids and conspiracies and sometimes even true crime. So there are a lot of fun things over there. But if you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at It's Asherz. That's probably the best options.
Yeah, I was just listening to Wednesdays We Talk Weird, the Satanic Panic episode that you guys did. because
yes.
Yeah.
And
That's-
the couples who kill it together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Satanic
It's
Panic
kind of
is
been a.
my big subject that I love so much. So
I mean, we had talked. Yeah, we had even talked about having you come on the show, and it was the Satanic Panic episode was it was about a good 3 months in the making. We've been talking about this for a long time, and once we start, because that's another thing. Me, I'm a full-time 40 investigator. I investigate, full-time,
Yep.
and so when I research for my shows, I really kind of fall down into these rabbit holes. And Satanic Panic and moral panic as a whole was definitely one of those things. And so it kind of got to the point to where we're like, well, what do we do with this? How do we make this special.
I get
but
that.
how do we not get lost in it? And so, but I think we handled the episode really well.
Oh,
it
yes.
is the newest episode out. We'll probably have at least another one out by the time the listeners, you guys hear this. But yeah, definitely check that one out. I'm proud of it.
Strongly recommended. Very well handled.
Well, thank
So,
you.
what about you, Tim? Is there anything you want people to pay attention to on the internet?
Well, of course, I'm sure I'm going to be on the Grind Bin pretty soon, at least a mini bin, and Daniel's show. So, everybody who listens to the show knows the other shows I'm going to be on.
Yep.
Plus, I was a Motion Picture Massacre,
Yes,
which we did
you
2
were.
movies. That's right. Yeah, listen, I almost don't want to talk about it because I kind of like blew myself up because we did 2 movies in under an hour.
Wow.
With Vaughn, and he just fucking pushed me right along. I didn't get any chance to fucking talk about any of the notes I had or anything like that at all. We're in and out. We had, what was it? The Ripper from 1985.
Excellent. Yeah.
With Tom Savini and Missouri Breaks with Jack Nicholson and Marlon Brando, which, if you haven't seen that movie, Missouri Breaks, what a fucking movie. I think it's on the Blood Bank, too. Marlon Brando is fucking tap dancing over that fucking movie.
Love Brando. When Brando is on, he is fucking on, by the way. So, Candice, what about you? Anything you want people to pay attention to on the internet?
I haven't done any other podcasts for a while, and I'm probably
Any
not going to
polls
do
you're
one.
going to have coming out soon?
Well, I was going to say, since I don't have any other internet appearances, if you want, you can follow me on Twitter at Canoric, CANORICK1. Just Canoric1. And I say funny jokes, and I repost things that are funny, and occasionally I put polls on there about horror movies that start fights.
And you end up
never
losing.
Yeah, I always lose. So if you feel like bullying me, follow me on Twitter.
Oh, no. Be nice to Candice, please. So, I would say
Oh,
if
yeah, that's
you've
right. And I
enjoyed...
changed my Twitter handle. Now it's just Tim Yobo Gold.
At Yobo Gold.
Nice
that's
and easy
right.
to find, huh?
And of course, I'm at Eddie the Axe. And if you're interested in what we're doing here, you want to hear some more of it, we've got plenty of bonus episodes up. You can just go to patreon.com/bloodybits and sign up. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to all of our bonus episodes. Guys, we're $5 away from hitting the first goal where I actually release bonus episodes on a bi-weekly basis. So just one person, go donate the $5 a month to do the thing. It's not even a donation.
So then after that,
You're
next goal will
buying
be
it.
every week we start doing an episode?
Every other week, we're going to be releasing a bonus episode instead of when I get around to it. Also, if you want to join at the $10 a month level, you get access to the Blood Bank, which is a repository for all sorts of deviant films, mostly horror and grindhouse stuff. Currently,
I would
we have
say it's safe to say that anybody who listens to our show, it's a safe bet to say that they might be able to find something like that on the Blood Bank. Very close to what we've talked about.
Yeah, you'll love whatever it is you're into if you listen to the show. It's on the Blood Bank at the $10 a month level. And other than that, I would say, I don't know. I think that's everything I want you to pay attention to on the internet right now.
Oh, and World Hunger.
World Hunger, yeah, if you can spare a little bit of money after donating to our Patreon, World Hunger is important. Or, you know what? Just eat an asshole, like a rude person, or an ass.
That's right. Save a meal, eat an ass.
Save a meal, eat an ass. And folks, with that, I believe this